Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. It's Thursday, September 25th. Yesterday, Rockport Fulton ISD stepped up police presence on its campuses after receiving threats of a weapon attack. According to a statement from the district, the threats were made by an unknown man believed to be living in the Houston area. The man claimed he intended to shoot up the school. Superintendent Dr. Leslie Austin told KIII News the district was taking it very seriously. The Rockport Police Department announced via social media that an increased police presence was on all campuses following the threats. Aransas County Sheriff's Office is investigating the identity of the man. The city of Starbase will soon have control over certain parts of Boca Chica Beach near the company's launch site in the Rio Grande Valley. This week, Cameron County commissioners approved the agreement to hand over a portion of the beach. The Texas Tribune reports the deal outlines cleaning and maintenance obligations, among other terms. Under the agreement, Starbase will be allowed to set requirements for beachfront construction and special events on the beach. The compact includes a plan to address beach erosion, which occurred at a rate of 10 to 20 feet per year from 1950 to 2012. That information was presented by Starbase Commissioner Jordan Buss to county commissioners, citing a study conducted by the University of Texas at Arlington. The city of McAllen has made the top 20 in the U.S. News & World Report's 2025-26 Best Places to Live. The annual report evaluates 250 cities across the United States based on 4 factors: affordability, strong job market, good value, and overall quality of life. McAllen ranked 20th and joins 6 other Texas cities, rounding out the top 20 with an overall score of 6.8 out of 10. Last year, McAllen ranked 48th out of 150 cities, earning an overall score of 6.4. Victoria County Judge Dan Gilliam announced he will run for re-election to County Court at Law No. 2 in the 2026 Republican primary. If he is re-elected, Gilliam said expanding programs such as the county's DWI court and continuing work on mental health initiatives would be his top priorities. Gilliam has served the community for 15 years in his nearly 4-decade legal experience. He has presided over more than 100 jury trials and helped lead school safety efforts across the state. Seadrift City Council began its search for a new public works director. Renee Rodriguez will serve as interim director. City leaders told 25 News Now they hope for a smooth transition. Alderman Tracy Johnson said she is eager to get the position filled as quickly as possible.
Like someone who not only has experience with the water department, but with the streets as well. And because the director is over both of those, and unfortunately in Seadrift we have streets that may not be perfect, but we're working on them. So I just would love someone who's very well-rounded.
Johnson said it would take about a month to sort through applications. Governor Abbott has appointed Amy Blanchett to the board of the Calhoun Port Authority. Her term will expire when the at-large commissioner elected in May 2027 takes office. Blanchett is a senior communications representative at Formosa Plastics Corporation and a director on the Jackson County Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture Board and the Sportsmen for Charity Club. She also serves on the United Way of Calhoun County Board, the Port Lavaca Downtown Waterfront Master Plan Visioning Committee, and the Rotary Club of Port Lavaca. The San Benito CISD School Board will extend Superintendent Fred Pettis' contract and boost his salary by $20,000. The Valley Morning Star reports with a year left on a 2-year contract, the board's giving Pettis a 3-year contract extension running to 2029 while bumping his $185,000 salary to $205,000. Earlier this month, board members announced the Texas Education Agency had given the district a grade of A with a perfect score of 100 on its Financial Integrity Rating System report. The Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program is stepping in to protect part of a shoreline at the Aransas National Wildlife Refuge. 25 News Now reports that crews will soon build a breakwater just offshore in San Antonio Bay to calm waves and slow erosion at Dagger Point, where water has been eating away the shoreline and toppling oak trees. Construction is scheduled to begin next month and expected to take about 9 months. Refuge leaders said visitor access will not be affected during the project. In state news, the FBI says it's investigating a shooting at the Dallas Immigration and Customs Enforcement Field Office yesterday as an act of targeted violence. KERA's Tolawani Osabamo reports at least 1 immigration detainee is dead and 2 are in critical condition.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons identified the shooter to CBS News as Joshua John. He died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. John most recently lived in Fairview, a suburb north of Dallas. One of his neighbors, Sherry Davis, says their neighborhood is small and tight-knit, but she didn't know much about John.
I would have never imagined that such a thing, someone that felt so disenfranchised would live so close to me.
Authorities haven't indicated any specific motive, but they did release a picture of 5 unspent bullet casings found at the scene. One had the words anti-ICE written on it. I'm Toluwani Osibemowo in Dallas.
Camp Mystic, a Christian girls' camp in Texas, devastated by July 4th flooding, plans to partially reopen next year. Texas Public Radio's Maria Navarro has more.
Camp Mystic said in an email to families it plans to reopen its Cypress Lake campus. Located less than a mile away from the Guadalupe River campus that saw extensive flood damage. Officials at the 99-year-old camp say Mystic will implement changes required in a new state law that regulates camp activity in floodplains and requires more flood response training for staff. 25 Camp Mystic campers and 2 counselors were killed, as well as the camp's owner. They were among more than 130 people who died in July flooding in Texas. Camp officials also say they're working to build a Heavens 27 memorial to honor the girls who died. I'm Maria Navarro in San Antonio.
The U.S. Department of Education's decision not to distribute already appropriated funds to Hispanic-serving institutions is costing Texas colleges and universities nearly $60 million. That's according to a Texas Public Radio analysis of grant funds over the last 5 years. Texas Public Radio education reporter Camille Phillips explains.
According to TPR's analysis of the grants the Education Department said it was withholding, Hispanic-serving institutions in Texas received nearly $60 million in HSI grants last year. In a normal year, Texas colleges would expect to receive about the same amount again this year. More than $44 million in grants continued this year, and the remaining funding would ordinarily be awarded to new recipients, including Texas colleges. But this year, the Education Department didn't announce new HSI recipients. Instead, Education Secretary Linda McMahon said they were discriminatory and ended them altogether. I'm Camille Phillips in San Antonio.
As storms made their way through the region this morning, power outages were being reported across South Texas. This morning, AEP Texas reported more than 400 customers in San Patricio County were without power. Over 80 customers in Jim Wells County were also affected, as well as about 200 in Aransas County. Outages were also reported in the Rio Grande Valley. Officials said power was expected to be restored by 9 a.m. this morning. The city of Brownsville unveiled a park master plan to guide development and management of its parks and rec facilities over the next decade or two.
The park system belongs to the community, belongs to the citizens of Brownsville. So their input, their desires, and their wants are what we want to deliver to them. So getting their insight is the most important part of the planning process.
That was City Parks and Rec Director Sean DePalma speaking to Valley Central News. The plan will take the current state of Brownsville's parks and identify future needs based on community input, demographic trends, and environmental considerations. Earlier this week, Corpus Christi's Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone 3 board approved to help fund $500,000 in improvements at the Corpus Christi Cathedral. The Diocese of Corpus Christi is in the middle of a $13.6 million renovation project at the cathedral. Bishop Michael Mulvey told KIII News about its renovation plans.
Have some new furnishings, the altar, the bishop's chair, the ambo we call it, where the Word of God is read, and of course the sanctuary itself.
More than $6 million in interior upgrades have already begun at the cathedral. This week, Goliad City Council unanimously adopted a $5.48 million budget and new property tax rate. This past Monday, the council held back-to-back public hearings on the 2025-26 budget and 2025 tax rate, drawing no public comments. The Goliad Advance Guard reported that members approved 3 measures unanimously: adoption of the new budget, ratification of the property tax increase reflected in the budget as required by state law, then setting a total property tax rate of 1.498402 cents per $100 valuation. According to the city, the spending plan emphasizes public safety, infrastructure, and reserves. Key allocation include about $3.1 million for the general fund and about $1.7 million for the water and sewer fund. Capital improvements will receive about $600,000 and $90,000 will go to special funds. Corpus Christi and Nueces healthcare providers told KIII News they're seeing a payoff after extending clinic hours at the Calhoun building in Robstown. They joined in a joint partnership with Amistad back in June. The clinic used to operate just once a week, making it difficult for residents to get medical care, but the growing partnership has helped to bridge that gap. Services are now available 5 days a week. Residents can access primary care weekdays from 8 a.m. to noon. Part of Everhart Road will be closed overnight beginning at 11 p.m. this evening. The city of Corpus Christi announced the closure will run from SPID to Lamont Street and will run through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. It will allow contractors to extend water services to area businesses. At the same time, crews will also pour concrete at McArtle Road as part of ongoing road improvements. This past Monday, the Coastal Bend Food Bank unveiled a new SUV donated by 1.5. The group strives to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. The vehicle will be used to support food bank initiatives such as deliveries and for staff transportation to conduct nutrition education in schools across the region. And in sports, the Texas A&M Corpus Christi soccer team gets ready for its first home conference match of the season tonight. They will host Nichols at 7 p.m. at the Dr. Jack Dugan Family Soccer Stadium. The Islanders entered tonight with only a point on its conference slate. That was from a draw in its lone Southland Conference match so far this season. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.